حب كله على بعضه ما بشيله من أرضه لولا وجودك انت القلب بكرة واللي بعده واللي بعد بعده بيبقى إلك
And I know that it's late when I let you pull me right back, 'cause you never promised tomorrow. You give me your love but it's borrowed. Lay you down, never get off your past. Only one that can do me like that. How you coming and going as I go. You rub on my body but I know malo, malo, pero malo. Te quiero pa' atrás y es yo malo. Malo, malo, pero malo. Estar cerca de ti, pa' mí eso es malo. Pa' mí eso es malo.
Baby, ich liebe es, wie du meinen Namen sagst. Ich liebe deinen Duft, deine Art. Ich liebe es, wenn du weinst und mich fragst, wo ich war. Gedanken bei dir, Baby.
أنا من أول ألو موتني الصوت الحلو قلبي كان ماشي بجنن خربط ما عاد اقبله ما عاد ساعدني الدنيا طاير مدري شو بني باب لو بسهر معاكي راح حس راس السنين
تذكر آخر مرة شفتك سنتار تذكر وقتها آخر كلمة قلتها وما عدت شفتك وهلا أنا شفتك كيفك أنت ملا أنت.
Lo traíste pa' ti, quiere decir que estaba ready. Deja que llueva, baby. Agua amiga pa' mí. Entre tu cuerpo encuentro vida. Te haré todo lo que me pidas. Una noche de sexo que nos dure toda la vida. حلاكي انت ادمان
مثل ما شاف الزمان
لا بالكتب وقصص الحب
لبسه بحلف لك كمان
جمالك ما بينوصف وما له حدود وضحكي والله كتير كيوت وقلبي فيكي جانن طاير دا يكتب يا جمالك يا جمالك يا جمالك جانن طاير دا يكتب wie du gehst, wie du stehst, wie du dich bewegst magisch, magisch, du bist so magisch, du verzauberst mich magisch, magisch, du bist so magisch, du verzauberst mich
بدك للحق الناس بتكره كلمة لا ماشي الدنيا بالمقلوب كل شي ممنوع مرغوب بطل في فرق كبير بين الباطل والحق
Qu'est-ce que مي جنا مي جنا 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 منا يمكركم منا سرتي سركتم كيس.
Two brothers are just back. Eagle, Kaka. But you know this. What? Did I throw you off again with the whole? We're not gonna.
My brain actually just melted.
You know, and I don't know. Hopefully, you like the Assyrian mashup music that we put at the beginning or at the end. It makes me want to go like this.
It wants me to higa.
No, Higa. My grandpa used to do this. God rest his soul. He taught me how to do that. Can you do that? No.
Yeah, you.
Oh wow. It's been passed down. Bravo to my brother.
Honestly, I learned it pretty easily. Everyone who like tries it, they're like, "It's so hard. It's so hard." Like,
It's actually, yeah.
It's just.
It was a bit hard when
Was
you're
it?
little, and as you learn, and then you get better. I do it a different way. Everybody has their own way of doing it. Yeah, like, because me, I go at the bottom. Some do it like at the top or whatever. But at the end of the day, the goal is to make the noise, right? So if you accomplish that, you have succeeded in all you've done. So it's crazy. We've been consistently going at it. We're at our 15th episode. And I know we've talked about in our previous episodes, you know, figuring out as to who our first guest is going to be. And we're coming to that point to
We
see.
have a good guess.
We have a few, you know, ideas, but we don't want to, you know, we will announce it the day of prior to the podcast. And we really want to tie into our topic. And make sure that's informative and it's enjoyable and that you can take something away from it. So, my brother here, as he's drinking his wonderful, delicious tea
Earl
that I
Grey
did not
tea.
get. I only got water bottle, as you can see. But yeah, I'll let him kind of introduce our two topics that we want to talk about.
Today, we will be speaking about competition within an educational system, because I swear we need competition in the system. And the next topic is internet and how it's like our opinions around the internet, how it affects everybody's livelihood, how easily accessible, blah blah blah. We're about to get into it very shortly. We're gonna figure out which one we want to cover. Actually, we know which one we need to talk about first. We're gonna talk about competition in the educational system.
And it's a great idea he came up with. I give him kudos for that. Not only I give him 2 thumbs fireworks for my brother here. It's actually a great idea, and I'm just surprised that they haven't thought of that, or they should do it and implement it. But that's something we want to get into. So competition within the educational system, going all the way from elementary, from elementary going to high school, then getting into post-secondary. Is that what they call it?
Like all the way through the. So in like a lot of other countries, I'm pretty sure in Japan, there's a leaderboard in their high school of like the best student at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Which is I'm amazed that we don't have that here, because one thing I feel like everybody has is they're competitive. Like I know I'm very competitive in my sports, in my games. Like I like to win.
Who doesn't like a little bit of a competition?
No, it's true.
It is.
It's
true.
like very true.
Yeah.
And seeing from you too, like my older brother. Don't get me wrong, one of the most competitive people I've ever met in my life. Call of Duty, I never say in my life I'm ever better than him, because then he's gonna challenge me, and I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time, so I don't want to lose. And FIFA, oh my goodness.
Yeah, FIFA. That's an evil game. I've mentioned that before. Competition's good. Competition's healthy, as long as it doesn't throw you overboard. It's really a great idea, and there is competitions. There have been scholarships for the best student, and things that are available through governments or through companies. But no, I think the whole idea that should be revisited. There should be competition within the schools themselves per each
Class.
course. That pushes. Let's say, you know what? You got 30. You're competing. Top 3 get this prize. Top 4 of this will get this prize. It will push that everybody to do their best and try to secure that spot in order for them to win a prize. I don't know if I probably said that to you in the past. Like me, I remember when I lived in Turkey, they had that competition throughout the whole school. It was, and I don't know how many people it was at that time, but basically it consisted of athletic, and then some educational. And I competed, and I came first. And the reward was that I can walk into the store and pick whatever I wanted within that store as my gift for coming in first, and there was second, third. I think competition is healthy, but competition outside of just specifically athletic in nature and sports, it should really be based. And I know there's grants and the smartest student, but no, why are we limited to an individual? Why don't we try to push as many as we can to do better and try their best, knowing that at the end of this, as you climb this mountain, as you reach the peak, there's a reward as you climb that heavy mountain, right? So the high mountain.
No, I totally agree. And currently, with what happened in our educational system, most of the students are a lot. Statistically, they're a lot stupider. That's what came out recently. That's why universities from St. David's High School, if you go to St. David's High School, they deduct 10% of your grade when you enter university.
Well, I would say I don't even know if stupider is a word, but I know
what's
what you
the
mean.
term?
Like it's not the same level as maybe the testing that was done 30 years ago, 40 years ago to students at that level, and I think, and I can't really speak.
I mean this was just 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm saying.
COVID time. I mean,
Yeah, so I don't know if it became lazier. And one thing I noticed, the people with because COVID that did online, they lost a lot. They went behind, so behind, and that we even had teachers coming out and saying that that wasn't a good curriculum in a short time and what they had to do. So a lot of people suffered, students, I guess, in that moment. But that's the thing. It's that we don't have a competition, a competitive structure within the educational system as it should. Like, you have a student, you have a class of 30. What is it going to cost you anyways? It's government, it's tax.
Somebody give them
incentives and rewards and apply more. Why is it? I understand. Teachers they do a lot of work and they want paid, but like every year I'm hearing, I need more money. I need more money.
All the time.
Yeah. And the thing is, not every single teacher is the same level as the next one. Some actually put so much effort and time in actually wanting to teach these kids, and some just look at it as a job that they go and there's no passion or drive for it. It's just they're gonna go do, what the bare minimum average what they need to do to get their job done, and they move on, kind of thing. And they always say, "Oh, it's too many people. I can't focus or help." So, and that's why I think a lot of people opt out. So being a father and having children. That's why to me, it's like, well, if I could afford it, I would rather go to a private school. Smaller classes, more one-on-one. But competition could drive that one-on-one, having more investment to open up programs, which would help.
No, I agree. And for me, like, there was a very competitive base when I was in like elementary school, high school, it would have pushed me a lot harder. Like, for me, I didn't get to... I thought school was boring. I hated it, and they already thought slow of me. They were, like, my school. I didn't like my school in general. But I know if there was a competitive base, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. Where I could push myself. The incentive would have been easier for me to see. Like, people say, "Oh, you're going to school to self-improve," but like as a kid, I don't see myself. I'm like, I want to be a kid. So I need to get rewarded. Like, I have to see the actual reward.
What I said is my brother here is not dumb. He's very smart. Did you understand what I said?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay, let's do that.
But like for you did it. Like, you experienced it.
Not really like to that extent. To me, I was the same way. It just... I don't know. It was competition. I experienced it back home, so there was competition. Top third. In grade 1, I remember I came first in my class. Obviously, both my parents were, teachers. I had to
impress.
I had to impress and be the top one. In grade 2, I was number 1 student in my class. In grade 3, I came third, and I wasn't the greatest, but I came in third. But yeah, in Turkey, when I went there, I was like the top student in my class. And then that's the thing, right? It's as I came new to this country, losing friends, starting new, not knowing the language, it kind of discourages you, right? That's why you don't focus. You get more disappointed because you have to start all over again, right? Imagine going to grade 5, you don't have anybody I remember going to that education, and it was fun. It was good learning and get used to it. I remember I would cry at recess, right? I didn't know anybody. I didn't know how to speak the language and get made fun of, and all those moments that made you stronger and better, right? So, but yeah, it was fun. It's a fun kind of thing to look back at. But I found out education, when I was there, they pushed, right? But even then, myself, I was more bored, kind of similar to George, but I did the bare minimal and passed. I didn't really care. Nothing drove me. But if I go, and I've said that, that's the issue. there was family members that would push and push and push. Like, why don't you be, you're not as good as your cousin. You can be,
Constantly.
yeah, like,
Oh
why don't you be like, see, the thing with children, and, at that time, I'm 10, 11, 12. What do you think? As you get pushed and you're putting in, never compare a kid to another
No.
because what happens, they rebel, they push and say, you know what, okay, is this thing, then yeah, fine, you can have, that person is better, yes, that is, okay, I'm not going to do the bare minimum. But yeah, even then, if I had to go back, I would have done my best, killed it, killed it. I say that, I know schools, look, school could be hard, it could be annoying. It's an experience. Do your best to interact. If there's people that are mean, expose them, stand up to bullies, but take advantage. Study your butt off, do your best, challenge yourself. Because eventually when you grow out of it, you're going to regret and miss it. You want to go back. Go for those things, a surgeon or lawyer or, those kind of positions, right? That are highly regarded and paid well. But there isn't that much competition to push people to that. And a lot of people...
Or to push in general, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, just to push see how far you can get in your own educational system. Like, the one thing I didn't like, our system's already divided. We're divided in 3 categories.
Okay.
There's academic,
Yeah.
then there's applied,
Yeah.
and then there's essential. Like, no matter what, before you go to high school, they put you in one of those 3 categories. They don't give, some people don't even get opportunity to do the academic. Like, I was not given that opportunity. I pleaded, and they said no. I did not have the smarts.
They just labeled you.
Yeah, like, that's what happened. That's why, it's absurd, but, like, I see that they recently changed that. I wasn't happy. Like, I'm happy that they did it because a kid could be coming who was experiencing the same thing, and he's now fully allowed to do academic. They passed a law where every kid's doing academic now, no matter what, and they can choose to go down.
It should have been like that.
It
Yeah.
should have been like that in the very beginning. But it's like, I feel like if kids were more competitive, like, they would push their educational boundaries. Like, I'm weak in English, but if there was something like to push me in a positive way, like, some people aren't competitive. I understand that, but like, majority is. I feel like at our core we're competitive people. That's why we've had wars. We took in lands. Like, historically, we're competitive.
Yeah. But I agree. So, like, even on you structure on, top 3, 4 prizes per course. You don't have to go crazy expensive, but on a final year where a collective, all courses, if those individuals attain a certain percentage and above, there should be gifts. Imagine saying, hey, you know what, top 20 people, say, for example, high school. Obviously, high school has more than elementary, right? Top 10 people of grade 9 will get these 10 prizes.
Yeah.
First place is a PS5. Second place is a Nintendo Switch. Third place is an Xbox. There's prizes or things that they would motivate them depending on what it is. Some are video games. Some are, an Apple tablet or whatever.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? You're already going to school, and not only that, it's going to help you, get a better college potentially to graduate, or it looks good on your resume as for your future. But you also are getting rewarded for everything you you worked hard at.
No, I agree. That's actually like good rewards, and in my opinion, it wouldn't cost the school system a lot. Like, bro, like,
Well, for the year you paid $5,000.
yeah,
And then you just not only the 10, you have to think about. And I don't know. That's I'm saying for the main 10 prizes, but then think of the other prizes that you got per course, right? You're gonna not only push and lead the next generation, right? To push and want to competition. It's healthy. It even in business you want competition because you know why? It leads to innovation. That's the whole idea. Like imagine if it was just Apple.
no better said. Like, that's good.
You know, it was just Apple, but we only got Android, and Android has different phones that they have to go with, right? So there's competition. BlackBerry, this is what happened. That was the issue with BlackBerry, and it's the same thing with education. If we treat it the same way as George pointed out, competition, it's healthy competition. We can push and make a better next kind of generation, right? And their more will be involved, then will do more for their community, and they'll come up even with better and greater inventions and ideas to make our communities better and to make our living better.
And I do agree, like, competition pushes innovation. And I feel like those kids, I believe everyone's brilliant. Everybody's smart at that core. We're just differently, we learn differently.
You each have each person has their own niche, I guess. You have to find it out what it is. But yeah.
So it's like those kids who have their own niche will find it a lot sooner because they want to be able to develop at a rate. And it's just like, it's unfair because, like, when I see those teachers who don't do much, it's like,
it creates to procrastinate, right? It creates those kids to just sit and do nothing. Like, it doesn't motivate them, right?
And like how heavily we are stuck on our phones, our internet, I feel like it's also gonna help those kids. Like, okay, I can't be on this too long. I want to improve myself. Like, it's consuming. They'll understand time better. They'll understand their weaknesses a lot sooner. It's like it's constantly improving in a sense.
What we say, like, this is where we're trying to get at, and I don't know who we go to or voice it out, but if you know anybody that's in charge of that, those are things that you should be mentioning and discussing to them. It's like, if I had to say whoever is in charge, Minister of Education and such, and how to reach out, those are great things to do, right? And there's no need to, like, separate and do these things. There shouldn't be education. Great education should be accessible to all. Yeah, it should be accessible to all. And there's countries out there, and we look at them and say, oh, they're backwards thinking and such, but meanwhile they provide free education, top education for free. China usually sends theirs to study abroad. I even heard, like, North Korea sends people abroad to study. I don't know if I'm wrong. I have no clue. You can fact check me. I'm just
what's crazy
from what I've heard, but
so when I looked, like, they said our education was, like, good enough, like the Iraqi education. Yeah, like, that's what Canada's
Iraq.
And I honestly believe the Middle Eastern education, like, what our mom told us she learned. What I learned in high school, she told me she was learning in elementary school. Yeah. Same thing with her father. And I'm like, how is this looked at as a weaker education if they're learning what I'm learning currently? Like, they learned it at such a young age. Our brains develop a lot sooner when we're younger. So the more information they feed us at a very young age, the faster we learn.
Well, we're like sponges.
Yeah. Like, so Kumon, why it's so popular and kids do so well, they have that competitive system.
They do well.
Yeah, which is where, like, I always thought about it. If I was in it, like, it would be insane. You go through booklets. You're competing against... It's a healthy competition because you compete against yourself. So if you get done a certain booklet, you get a reward. And the higher the booklet you get, the bigger the reward gets. So one of the rewards at a time, like currently, was a PS5.
No way. That's
really well, so it's like they go crazy with it, but it's like expensive. But it's like...
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's like...
I don't know. So they had that idea, but it should be implemented.
Yeah, into the actual school systems. Yeah. Now, like, Kumon's known for doing good for their kids. Like, kids who come out of Kumon are actually, like, well suited for the educational system because the stuff they're taught is so quick.
Well, kudos to Kumon.
It's a big franchise.
Yeah, like. Yeah, no, I just, listen, healthy competition breeds, like I said, innovation, the next generation. It does a lot of good, and especially you take that same thought and implement it in the educational system. definitely see
Yeah.
a wider and a broader intellect next generation, and that's what you should really be focused. The kids are the future, so you have to focus on providing them the best. And because I even heard, and I don't know anybody can correct me on it or not. Like for example, TikTok. Here you get to see meaningless sometimes things, laugh, waste time. And in China, I've heard at a certain age, all they're getting fed and they're allowed is just educational information, educational, because they are investing in their future. The children are your future, so that's where you need to do, especially if Canada's done a lot of great things. That you need to invest in your future, and you have to do it well in the future, in the kids that you have now, right? Because you take a lot of money and you invest it abroad. I don't want to focus in Canada. Focus on your people and the future, because that way we're able to be even greater and help out more. That's my final thought on this topic. I don't know what else you wanted to add up, or
like sum it up for me. Like I believe competition should be implemented at a healthy rate, and we should see it like as soon as possible in our school systems, because there's kids who are exactly like us that need that competition to thrive in an educational institute. And if you want to actually be an educational institute, be there for all the kids that need to learn, not a certain group, and don't push your ideas out too much.
Yeah. You really what you want to do is you want to approach it in an unbiased way, and help them develop. The greatest thing, regardless of the courses, is critical thinking. We need to make sure that they critically think, and that they're presenting their thoughts and what they want to do, right, and how they're approaching it. So because it helps them learn better.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Now
we do our
eagle.
Wah! I don't know. Sometimes I'm horrible with a caca. It sounds like a crow. Wah! What it is. But internet. I was telling him. I don't know. See, sometimes I get a lot of information. I'm like mega mind, but bits and pieces. I knew, and you can correct me on it. Internet, just in general, the internet, how advanced we've become, and it's funny because the way I've always said what technology is a double-edged sword. And I actually have a poem that I made about technology. You're laughing, but I have it. You want me to read the poem?
I actually do. We're gonna listen to this poem.
You're gonna listen to this poem that I wrote. This is before.
And I will be honest.
And I want your honest feedback on this poem that I wrote, and then we'll get into the internet piece of it. But all right, where is it? I do a lot of notes for myself sometimes here and there. That's surprising. Why don't you say something while I'm doing it?
Alright, guys. We're going to do a quick episode of 30 Seconds George and how serious I can get with all of you. So, today, I woke up at 6. I made myself a coffee. I looked out the window and enjoyed my coffee. I went down and heated my car for a minute. Then I went out, drove a little bit, about 15 minutes to get the engine nice and cool. I mean nice and hot, because it's very cold out. And I don't like the cold weather. It was minus I think 14 in the morning. Sucked. And then I went to my cousin's place. I did another podcast, funny enough. No, I don't even call it a podcast. I did I don't know what to call it. I think it's called The Broke Boys. We're called The Broke Boys on that. Then after that, I went to the gym. Pumped iron. A lot of iron. I went home. No, actually, I didn't go home. I went and did some work. learn some, what's it called? Clips? Auto cuts?
I found it. But in the words of Larry David, pretty good. Pretty good.
Did you reread it quickly?
No, I'm gonna read it. Okay? This is how it's going. I will never fail. I will never fall. No matter the storm, stand tall. Failure is not the lack of income or the lack of love, but it is the lack of the inner fighting freedom. The individual has lost his ways, fallen as a victim of digital social craze. I cry within for seeing the twisted truth, knowing that technology is the new sweet tooth.
That was actually good. I'm being totally.
I don't even know if... Yeah, this is something I wrote, and I'm not making it up right here. I wrote it a while back, and, even to see, this was October 1st, 2021. So that was, and then, there's some cool things that I kind of went through. I'm like, wow, this is some cool things that, and then, yeah, that's the... where was quickly there's another one. Yeah, this is what I said to myself. Why do I believe, you ask yourself? Faith is something you can't explain but feel. Deep down inside, the truth is inside your heart and around you. You cry out and connect to this truth. You may ask, what is the truth? Jesus Christ was here. He died for your sins and rose on the third day, and is still here. He will come again to judge the living and the dead. So a few things like that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, internet, technology, and AI. We've heard.
Okay.
Elon Musk. Think about Elon Musk before you continue. But
I'm gonna end this debate that people keep talking about. Internet. Technology will never turn against us. I promise you. The only reason why people keep saying technology is going to be the end of us is because the second we lose our technology, I promise you everybody's going crazy because they have nothing.
No, it's not, because the whole system is now being designed on technology.
Yeah, like everything.
So everything's cloud, everything's attached. So what happens? If you have nuclear arsenal that's hooked up to the cloud and the cloud shuts down, what do you think would happen?
We have no power, no nothing, no...
So, I hope that's not the case, and I hope that's not...
We might just have to go back to caveman days.
No, because I heard that technically if there is an EMP or whatever, because everything is now cloud and base and whatever, that you could end up having miss signals or whatever that could snap things. And I hope that's not the case, because if that's the case, then we let some of the dumbest people control the world. If that's the case, I'm saying that the whole arsenal and missiles and everything is all cloud.
Well, they can't go. Yeah, I'm saying they can't go off. If that's the if we EMP say a solar.
Solar is different. What about EMP?
Flash.
Electronic with the actual attack.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's the same idea as a solar flash, like a big one from the sun, taking out technology like it did in 2009. If that happened again, nothing, everything would just shut down permanently. We would not be able to get it back online. That's it. Nothing will explode, nothing will blow up.
Well, I know we're not getting into AI and stuff like that right now, and that's a whole different topic, and we said internet, right? But the whole concept of internet, you gotta think about network to network, and, it expedited things so fast that two people could connect quickly. Information could be shared so quickly. We have so many things, and my understanding is the whole internet started out as a military project by the U.S.
Yes.
And then they released it to the public.
It did start in the U.S., by the way. I'm not too sure about I know it started in the U.S. That is true.
But you said you didn't start in the U.S.
What? Internet?
I thought you said it didn't start.
No. I guarantee it started in the U.S. I don't know if it was started with military use, though.
It was military use. I think that's we can look it up, but and then they released it out to the public. From what I know, you can correct me, right? And it was released, and the beauty of internet, which I love, the good things. That's why I say it's a double-edged sword. There's good and there's bad to it, right? The good is that you have massive of information at the finger of your, the tips of your finger that you can utilize for the better. But there's also that can be utilized for the bad, right? And there's a lot of bad things on the web and on the internet, like from the black market and all these other things that you got to tackle. And then there's other useless things that are up there that distract people and that keep people occupied. Versus the whole intent was,
Information based.
Information sharing, information basis, connection, for somebody that's far off, like, Facebook, and you haven't seen somebody. The good, but however, what ends up happening is there's also the addictive nature of using these platforms, right? So the internet is broader. So there's the internet, like the idea and the concept of the internet, and there's all these things within that are working within that. It's not the internet. They need the internet to connect to peers. The whole idea of it's information sharing. It's like tunnels that can connect. Without the internet, Twitter is nothing. Instagram is nothing. All these software, they're nothing. They need the connection peer to peer. You need the internet to connect peer to peer.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole idea.
It's all like the one thing. My biggest issue with the internet is how it kind of took over everyone's livelihood. I don't like how it's such a heavy focus. Like, even for me, like, I'm not on my phone a lot. And when I am, it's like, like when I was younger, like I'm still pretty young, but I mean like when I was like in my teens, I was like mostly on internet for like searching information. I never cared about social media as much. I still don't care for social media. I'm more like, most of my time I'm trying to re-educate and learn valuable stuff.
Yeah.
But like, the stuff I don't like is how distracting the internet can go. That's why people go through the terms, oh, I went down this rabbit hole on YouTube. I went down this rabbit hole on searching this article, and I found some weird stuff. It's like, there's a lot of unimportant items on the internet, and I think it's way too addicting, even to like now, because like, my phone, like, I actually brought down my phone time, like, the phone tells you how much time you spend.
Yeah.
And like mine was originally 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm awake for like 16 of those hours. So half of my day was on my phone. I bring it down to an hour and a half. That's how much I'm on my phone.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. See, the thing is, the idea, the internet itself was a great invention and great idea. Like, even I'm looking, as a military venture, ARPA had a specifically military motivation for creating the internet. It offered a way to bring computing to the front lines. In 1969, ARPA had built a computer network called ARPANET, which linked mainframes at universities, government agencies, and defense contractors around the country. So if it was information sharing quickly, rather than by the time if it was mail or fly out to deliver message, you can internally exchange information at that fast pace without kind of taking days or whatever to expedite things. So that's crazy. 1969, it was the whole. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, that you cannot have all these software and these programs without that network, right? Like
That's true.
That's the whole idea of it. But
like, I remember when I was watching like Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't publish anything without being like a Harvard professor. You needed like a certain code to like make a post onto the internet.
Oh, no way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the cool thing is, if you watch like the Facebook like Zuckerberg documentary, he got a professor to do it for him, or got his code, and was able to upload, which was interesting.
I watched the movie, I don't remember, but all I know is that he didn't do well for his partner, and then his partner got money.
Yeah.
Because he sued him. But yeah, it was a good movie. I'll give him that.
But like, it upsets me. Okay, this is off topic a little bit. I did not enjoy what he did to his best friend. I did not enjoy it, and it made me very upset.
But that's the thing. You know what the thing is? The success and money can do things to people that you, from the closest people that you would have least expected it from, and that happens. And you've heard about it. Maybe that's another topic that we can get into or talk about. But you know, final thought on that piece: internet's a great invention, great idea, peer-to-peer sharing, quick information with exchange, but at the same time, you know, because of that, it led to all these other, these inventions, and even these, the technology in general. I say it's a double-edged sword. You know, it could be good or there could be bad use of it. So as long as that the good outweighs the bad, and we're aware of it and we're doing our best, then okay, kind of thing.
Yeah, for me, I don't like the internet. I think I would be happier, like, without the internet. Honestly, I like the idea of me just having to walk somewhere. No phone, no nothing.
Sounds, depending on what ends up happening, it could be scary if a bear's attacking you and chasing you and you got nothing around, but
I would have my sword.
Yeah, he's going to have his protective sword, but yeah. But yeah, that's it. Smash, hit, subscribes, and hit, and hold out. You know, shout out to DB Clouded. Give out random shout outs, but really appreciate you tuning in. For those that tuned in, and more to come, and more discussions, and continue this little adventure of ours, brother.
Yes, I actually have a good topic. Next topic coming up, or not the next, but upcoming topic I want to talk about is, should wars go back to being just swords and horses, or stay as guns, missiles, and nuclear warheads?
I think there's more skill with swords and horses.
But
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that one would be good.
But yeah, enjoy, share, subscribe, and hit, and send your comments our way.
Please share it.
I'm looking forward to our next episode. Enjoy.
كيس طول الناس سرتي سرقت أمكاس من عكوخ كيس طول الناس.
Who will share all your love, pure and fair? But in your eyes, I can see that someone will be me. جانا بهرون نشمي بكل خضانا ندبر يا هالوديوم الضيانا تشاوق من شان خوب بخانا
سبورا اللي مو غيبتي أسرنجاني قد باتن باتخنا أندراناني شوق من نخلي بالي ولا بخلماني شمخ دايم اللي شاني